Welcome to another Connection Show here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Each week we have different organizations from around the viewing area come in and tell us what's going on in their organization and how the organization itself affects all the people around us. Stay with us, be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a gentleman about a big event coming up. It's been going on for a long time just north of Harrison.
Inland Waste Solutions works diligently to be good stewards of the environment. Reducing waste via curbside recycling services, Inland Waste Solutions takes this mission seriously, but they need your help. When putting your waste and recyclables in their respective curbside containers, be sure that cross-contamination doesn't occur. Please only place recyclable materials in the yellow top bins. Check your recycling do's and don'ts list before you throw any item into the yellow top recycle bin. Together we can make a difference. Inland Waste Solutions, local people serving local people in Harrison.
Plants, plants, and more plants. That's what you'll find at Camp's Plants in Harrison. Perennials, annuals, ferns, hanging baskets, shrubs, roses, decorative trees, and the largest selection of garden vegetables in the area. With different varieties arriving weekly, you're sure to find the perfect plant, shrub, or tree at the best price in the area. Camp's Plants in business for over 33 years in Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first guest in the studio today is a gentleman that actually I went to school with and know him, been around a little bit, but it's been a long time. Arvin Adams. Arvin, thanks for coming in today.
Nice to be
Are we
here.
getting that old?
We must be. It's turned white on us.
But you've kept your hair. Look at what happened to mine. Mine is white and gone. It's good to see you, Arvin. Reason we wanted to talk to Arvin Adams is he's done an amazing thing. Particularly himself and others have been involved, I'm sure. But we're going to talk about a big gospel singing event that's going to be coming up in the end of this month at Beacon Park. And many people know where Beacon Park, if you've lived around here. It's near right next behind the old Ridgeway School on the old Highway 65 North, and they have quite a facility there. They have singing events going on, 3 or 4 major ones a year, and it's Arvin. He purchased the facility and got it going. But a little bit about kind of quickly how you started it, and if you would just.
Well, it all started with the Lighthouse Messengers singing. We started in '77.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 years later, a couple years later, people said, well, we don't want you to sit up and sing to us for 2 hours. We didn't know that many songs, but we invited them to our house, drug the piano out on the porch, and sung every song we knew. And about a year later, they said, why don't you do that again? Well, we did. And so it became an annual thing. We took it to the church a couple of years and outgrew the parking lot there, and then talked to the people that had the community property up there and moved it there. And then we purchased some land that joined the community property, and so we've been there ever since.
Ever since. You have really a nice facility there, and I maybe I can get over there for this event coming up. I haven't actually been there for an event, but I have kind of walked over by there, and you've got it set up, and I'm sure you put a lot of planning into what you're doing. You actually live there, but it's a huge facility. I mean, you've got the lighting, you've got a facility for food, parking, great parking area. And so, how did you just kind of come up with this idea, or did you have some help?
Well, I tell you what really happened there, Dennis. When we purchased the property, that property was all grown up and everything. An old house had been there, burnt years ago, and we was cleaning that all up. And I had a dream, and in my dream, I had a big stage on one side and a 2-story building on this side, and the bottom was concession stand and bathrooms. And I thought, wow. And at that time, we owned the ice cream shop in the mall. And I was telling my wife all about how this dream I had. Well, I'm just no country boy. I ain't got no money. And, you get discouraged and you think, well, that just a wild dream. You know, I had too much pizza or something, you know. And I dreamed that again. And in the process between 1990, when we purchased the property, to 1998, I had that same dream like 4 different times. And on slow days at the ice cream shop, my wife was drawing this all out for me. And so we just went from there. We had never seen another facility that looked like ours, but we've got a big stage down on one end of it, and up here's, in the dream, I didn't know I lived there. But it's always 2-story. At that time, I was the youth leader of our church, so I thought, hey, I'm going to have a game room for the kids and a concession stand downstairs. Arvin's going to have it made. Well, about the time we got that all up, the highway department came by our little trailer house up the road and said, you're going to have to move out because we're putting in a new highway. And so that moved us down there. We live upstairs, and so
Wow.
there we are.
The dream came true.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, you do have a great facility there. With these events, and again, we'll get into the specific of the one coming up. But so you have concessions. How do you make your revenue? Do you sell tickets?
No. For years we did sell tickets, and I just felt very led to quit that because one thing, we were losing our teenagers because parents would leave them with friends and not bring them. And so, you know, everybody's saying gospel music is just getting to be old gray hairs. Well, it's not so if you do it right. And so I was concerned about that. And so I approached the people. It was like on our 20th year, and I told them I didn't want to do tickets no more, but for people that had been watching us and see how we operate, the groups that we bring, to support it for $10 a month. And so I got supporters that do that, and we usually pass the bucket, and so far it has worked. You know, we'd tried that years ago, and it just didn't ever work. Just passing a bucket, well, that just didn't work. But we've got enough supporters that. And in the last 5 years, we went from a 2-night singing in June to a 4-night singing in June. And so that is just making the crowds even larger.
Wow.
And so
that's fantastic. So the groups you have come in, do you have to pay those groups?
Yes, I do. I pay them whatever their flat is. I don't try to make them come for less.
Right.
Because this is the kind of music I'm trying to keep on the road.
Yes.
And so this is the music I liked. And I remember your mom being there. Yeah. She was one of our most faithful people in the first several years there. Yeah. She had a little group of women that they went around together with, and you could always count on that little group being at the singing.
Yeah, she enjoyed that. She really did. Okay, so you've got hookups. I know you have. I see motorhomes and campers.
Yes.
People come in and spend the whole week there.
Yes, they do. And the Bluegrass Festival is what brought that on. When I invited the Bluegrass Festival up, they said, "How many RV hookups have you got?" And I said, "I don't have any. How many are you used to?" And they said, "We're used to 150. So, oh my goodness. But anyway, that kind of got us started, and we're up to a little over 100 hookups now, and we have water, electric, and a dump station.
Wow.
And so we've kept growing.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, I didn't know you had that many. You've got, of course, a beautiful area there. You got tree. You got some that are in the tree line. Some you get shade in the afternoon. Different locations there. About your food service facility, I know when you get that many people, can you handle that many people?
We do. It's all done by volunteers, and I've got the best ones I think in the country. We have 3 windows. You order at one and pay, and then by the time you get through doing that, they've already got your drink sitting here waiting at the second one. And by the time you get to the third window, it's made the circle. The food's usually right there, and that line moves continually. And
wow.
So I'm really proud of all the people that work in the kitchen. Because that's a whole world of its own. They don't get to hear the singing. They don't get to hear nothing. Because if you've ever worked a concession stand, you know that's
Yeah.
That's a world of its own right there.
Yeah. That group you've got could probably help some of these fast food restaurants teach them how to get it through a little quicker.
The lady I had in charge that's kind of kept everything running so smoothly, I've had her be approached with people that had concession trailers wanting her to come and run their concession trailers.
She did too good a job. Well, we've got about 4 minutes left, so let's get into this event. Let's talk about this. I'll just let you get into it.
Well, we've got 4 nights of some of the top names in Southern gospel music, and we're starting on Wednesday night with the Perrys and the Williamsons. And the Williamsons are kind of new; they're from out in Oklahoma, but they have had some really top-notch songs lately. And she's writing some good songs for even other groups.
Okay.
On the 28th, we've got Jim Brady Trio and the Whiznets. Now, Jim Brady sung for years with the Booth Brothers. Everybody loves the Booth Brothers. He's hanging with his wife now, and we've had them the last couple years, and people just love them to death. The Whiznets is a name that we're not familiar. You know, it's not a Jones, Adams, or Smith. You know, we're not used to that name, but they have had some great songs. Susan Whiznet, she is one of the top-notch ladies in gospel music right now. On the 29th, on Friday night, we've got the McCameys and the Mark Trammell Quartet. Now, that's going to be a powerful night. The McCameys have had more #1 songs in the Southern Gospel than any other group in history.
Wow.
And they've been coming to Beacon Park for 30-something years now.
Wow.
And, you know, and they're going to celebrate their 59th wedding anniversary this year at Beacon Park. So we're excited about that. Of course, Mark Trammell sung for years with the Cathedral Quartet, and he is an outstanding Christian man and got a great group. Saturday night, I mean, it's an exciting night. Karen Peck and New River, everyone loves Karen Peck, and the Mike Boland family. Now, a few years back, right after they'd left Beacon Park, they had a bus wreck and almost killed them all. And they have come out of that, and if nothing else, they have a greater anointing on their singing because they know they're here for purpose.
Wow.
And so Saturday night, it's going to, the whole week. It's just a great week.
You will be packed out there every night, won't you?
Bring your lawn chairs. I don't have enough folding chairs, so bring your lawn chair.
Bring your lawn chair and an appetite because they get you through the concession real fast.
Yes, we serve chicken, hamburgers, hot dogs, pulled pork. Wow. I'm telling you what, that concession stand, and our prices are low. Because we have a lot of people driving in from Missouri, and they are waiting till they get to Beacon Park to eat because they know the food's going to be good and it's going to be reasonable if they're bringing their family and all that. So.
Wow. Well,
and another thing, Dennis, the bathrooms are air conditioned.
Boy, you can't beat
that.
Especially the temperatures we're having right now, and this is the end of the month. So,
yes.
So that's no porta potties.
No porta potties, no more.
Well, you have come a long way, Arvin Adams and his family. What a fantastic story! If you listen to the story of where they began and where they are today. If you haven't been to Beacon Park, you need to go out there, and this would be a great place to start out. If you've moved to Harrison recently, you're watching the show, or if you've lived here for a long time and maybe you just haven't been out there to an event, you need to go because not only is it wonderful music, great entertainment for the family, it's family entertainment, but it's quite a facility. I mean, to be here in the Ozarks, to have an outdoor facility with a huge stage, lighting, food, camper hookups, you name it. They've got it all right here just north by the old Ridgeway School. And I'll have to try to make it out there.
I hope you do.
I will.
Dennis.
And I want to come out for some of that pulled pork.
That
sounds to me like pretty good food out there. Arvin, thank you for coming in. I do appreciate Arvin Adams coming in and being on our show today and telling us about the big event coming up again. That's the 39th Annual Lighthouse Messengers Gospel Festival out at Beacon Park, north of Harrison, Old Highway 65, right behind the old Ridgeway School. June 27th through the 30th, free admission. Go out there and enjoy great entertainment. These groups coming in from all over the country. Arvin, I hope you have a record crowd this year. I'm sure you will.
I'm looking for it.
Thanks for coming in and talk to us.
Thanks for having us.
Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We've got a young lady to come in and talk about all the things going on for the month of June at the Boone County Senior Center. Stay with us.
Stop in at White Oak Station on Capps Road in Harrison and fill up with Shell gasoline, the highest quality gasoline with more miles per gallon, saving you money. Sign up for the Fuel Rewards card and save 5 cents per gallon every time. Plus, get an extra 5 cents off on Razorback Wednesdays. That's a savings of 10 cents per gallon. Check out their expanded deli and hot and cold food items. Capps Road, White Oak Station, where customer service is their #1 goal.
We all need the help of a pharmacy from time to time. Sullivan Pharmacy would like to thank all their customers for supporting them as an independent local pharmacy. When you trade with an independent pharmacy, you deal with an owner that supports the local economy and charities. Visit Sullivan Pharmacy for any of your over-the-counter or prescription needs. It's important to keep helping those that help the community. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 Main Street, Harrison, serving this area since 1965.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Our next guest in the studio comes to see us quite often because there's so much going on at the Boone County Senior and Wellness Center. Chris Kendall, the director. Thanks, Chris, for coming in. You've been vacationing a little.
I have been.
Had to leave a message and say, hey, you got anything going today? You probably had it stacked up if you've been gone.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. We want to cover some of the things coming up in the near future and also in the month of July at the Senior Center because they've always got lots of things going on. But a little bit, I always like to remind people kind of what you do, just briefly if you would, at the center and who can go and so forth.
Of course. We serve seniors who are 60 and over, and of course, if they have guests that they would like to bring, they're welcome to bring their guests as well. We just have to charge them what it costs for us to make a meal, and so it's a $6.54 for anyone under 60 who comes in. But anyone over 60, we ask a $3 donation, and that's for a meal. And you know, today we're having meatloaf and corn and a wheat roll and I think it's fruited gelatin, and I think there's something else thrown in there too. But you know, it's home cooked meals, and you know, it's cooked fresh there at the Senior Center every single day. Our cook comes in at 6 o'clock every morning, and so you know, he works hard and he does a great job with his cooking. And so you know, we have the meals at the center. We also have socialization activities and exercise classes every day. Which we've just recently, our Silver Sneakers instructor had some health issues, and so she stepped down, and we're in the process of getting a new young lady trained, and she has come to us from Harrison Fitness, and she's you know, like all of our other instructors, she's a volunteer and volunteers her time to come in on Wednesdays and Fridays, and she's going to be doing our Silver Sneakers class, but she's also going to be doing Zumba, which is you know, it's very popular, and it's a little bit more high energy class. And so if you're looking for something a little bit more active than sitting in a chair and doing the basic exercises, or this would be more like a cardio workout for you. But Zumba has been really popular, and so I'm really excited about adding that to our schedules. And I think she's doing that on Tuesdays, and so that's really exciting. We also have the transportation service that goes out into the county and picks up people and brings them into Harrison, you know, and then takes them back home. Anywhere that they need to go in Harrison, we can take them there. They just have to call and schedule 24 hours in advance. And they would talk to our dispatcher, Erica, and she would schedule those appointments for you. We also have the home delivered meals, of course, the Meals on Wheels. And so we go out into the county and we deliver those on a weekly basis to the people who are out in the county, and daily to the people who are here in Harrison that we can reach with a hot meal. They receive 5 hot meals throughout the week, and then 2 frozen meals for the weekends. Or if we have a holiday, then they would receive a frozen meal for that as well.
Wow. Speaking of the Meals on Wheels, Chris, I know you've been desperately needing another vehicle. How's the fundraising going? I know it's been a long, drawn-out because
has
it's so
been.
expensive.
It has been, and we've been very fortunate, and I think we're very close to our goal. I haven't had a chance to sit down and really go over the numbers yet, but I believe we're right around 40,000, and we need 47 to 48,000 to actually purchase the truck, and so we're very close to our goal of getting that truck. So we're really excited about that, and very thankful for that too. All the donations that we've received for it, we're very thankful for anyone who's given a donation to that, and or to the center for helping us to to keep the center going. It takes so much to keep the center going. I can't remember exactly what our budget for this year is, but it's pretty great.
Obviously the ability for the seniors to go to the senior center, which is very nice. It's a great facility actually, and they've expanded over the years, and so they've got all kinds of programs. But for the seniors out there, if you like to go where you can be around other seniors and just the friendship and being able to play some games and exercise and just sit around and do nothing or whatever, but without having to be home alone, particularly if you don't have a spouse or a companion to be with. It means so much to those people. But also this Meals on Wheels program, which has been around for a long time, but the ability for them to go out and take necessary food to people that are shut-ins that can't get out, may not even have family members or close friends. The nutritional program is such an important part of the senior center. I consider it one of the more important parts of what you do out there.
It is, yes. And not only is it a hot meal going to that person each day, or a frozen meal, or 7 frozen meals going to someone each week, but it's someone to knock on that door. It's someone to say, hi, how are you doing? It's somebody to check on that person every day, or every week at least, to make sure that they're doing okay and that they have the air conditioning or the heating that they need. This time of year, it's so vital for them to have that air conditioning, and to make sure that that they're not getting overheated, and that they are drinking plenty of fluids, and just to make sure that they're doing okay. That the Meals on Wheels program is so much more than just a hot meal.
I hadn't even thought about that, Chris, that what she's talking about there, just observing a senior that may be alone, or may not have any family, could be maybe don't have a friend particularly close enough that would check on them on a regular basis. Just that part of it, plus the fact that it's somebody coming out, knocking on the door, as Chris mentioned, and saying, how you doing today, and maybe listening to them for a little while, just the camaraderie side of it. That's very important.
That's right.
People.
And a lot of people that receive these meals, they receive them from volunteers that come to the center. They volunteer their time, just an hour a day, and they come to the center, they pick up the meals, and they go and they check on these people, and they deliver meals to them. And so our volunteers are very important to us, of course, and we do have some routes that we still need volunteers for, and so if you can spare an hour a day around lunchtime, please come and see us, or call us and let us know, hey, I have an hour that I can spare, and that's just one time a week, so it's 1 hour a week of your time, even if you're still working and you have a lunch break that's an hour long, then we have a route that could fit your schedule. Wow. that would be within the time frame that you'd be able to come to the center, pick those up, and take a meal to them, and be back within the hour. So we can work around all kinds of schedules for the volunteers, and usually the meals are picked up at 10:30 and then delivered by 11:30. The volunteers are usually back to the center by then.
So if you happen to have a little time, or you'd like to make a little time, that would be a great service for the community and for the seniors out there. So listen, we got about 5 minutes. Let's talk about what you got coming up here in June and in July.
Okay. We have Hot Rods and High Heels and the Branson Show. We're going to go see that on June 18th. And then our birthday celebrations on the 22nd. Attorney Mitch Cash is going to come and do a presentation on the 27th. And then, of course, in July is our 4th annual car show. That's a car and bike show. And so we went to the car show that was on the square for Crawdad Days, and I got to meet the gentleman from Eastbound and Down, and they have agreed to come to the car show and have their cars there, and so that's really exciting. It's the Smokey and the Bandit, and so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Is it going to be at your center there?
It will be at the senior center, and we have a flyer in the newsletter telling all about it. You can get a meal that day for only $6. It's a barbecued pulled pork barbecue sandwich, and like I said, it's only $6 for that meal, and it does come with baked beans, corn, and a dessert. And so and of course all proceeds that we receive from any of the fundraisers that we do, it goes to help us purchase the truck first and foremost, but then to also maintain the senior center and to help with the budget that we have throughout the year. We will have trophies for all the cars, first, second, and third in the different classes that we have. And that's again is going to be July 21st, 9 a.m. till noon is the registration, and then 1 o'clock we will announce the awards. Do the awards presentation, and it's only a $25 donation for registration. And of course, because that is a donation, it is a tax. You can use that on your taxes as a donation, and so every little bit helps there. So.
Okay.
Yeah, just a lot of exciting things going on
I
at the
noticed
senior center as always.
They take some really good trips. Just because you're a senior and getting a few years on you doesn't mean you can't get out and enjoy yourself and
That's right.
and do things. I noticed you're going up to Branson on the 18th to the Clay Cooper Theater, but you take groups to Branson quite often, don't you?
Yes.
Different things.
Yeah, we went last month, and No, we're going again in July.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And we usually get special deals for the tickets. It's only $13 for the ticket for Hot Rods and High Heels. And then next month when we go to see Clay Cooper, that'll also only be $13 as well.
Wow.
I don't have the date for that show, but
We'll talk about that on the
We'll
next
talk
show.
about that later. Something else is NARMC. They send volunteers to the senior center every month. That's the second Tuesday of every month. Usually, it's usually past the second Tuesday once once they come on. But I do want to let people know that is every second Tuesday of the month. I'm sorry, I think it's the first Tuesday. Please forgive me.
Is that your screening?
It's the health screenings, yes.
First Tuesday, I
It
think
is the
so.
first
Yeah.
Tuesday, that's right. It is the first Tuesday of every month. They come and they do blood pressure screenings and they check sugar levels and the cholesterol levels, things like that.
Yep.
Just a basic health screening, and that's at no charge to the senior center. And one of the best things about the senior center, I think, is that we never charge a fee for any of our services, and
Right.
I love that about the senior center. If someone can't afford to give the $3 for a meal, then we don't turn them away for inability to give that donation. We do appreciate any donations that they can give, even if it's $1 per meal.
Right. Whatever they can afford. It's fine.
Right.
Well, you do a wonderful job. If you haven't been out to the Boone County Senior and Wellness Center, it's on Rock Springs Road. You can't miss it. It's right there. They have a great facility, and if you happen to be 60 or older and you want to go out and check them out, go out there, have a nice lunch, see who all's out there, and I'm sure you'll see some friends that you think, well, I didn't know they went out here. But anyway, thank you, Chris, for coming in.
Sure,
we'll have
thanks
you
for
back
having
in
me.
next month and keep everybody informed of what's going on at the Senior Center.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. We hope we got some information to you perhaps you didn't know about. Join us each week as we bring organizations in to let you know what's important around the viewing area.
KTKO Channel 8 Harrison. Local television worth watching.